everyone, welcome to my channel, International Tarot. My name is Jane, and I'm making this video specifically because I actually had a lot of requests for this video. A lot of people that were curious about my relationship with tarot and how tarot came into my life, and so I thought I would address that. First of all, welcome to New York. I'm here in New York, staying with my friend. I have a little bit of downtime, so I thought I would just sit here. I'm just doing this on my phone. Hopefully it turns out okay. But yeah, I think it's a very good, valid question. A lot of you come to YouTube every month. You might watch me, or, you have your favorite readers on YouTube, just like I do. And I think it's totally fair for you to know really how this came to be. I had a very challenging relationship, which I think a lot of us go through something similar. It was a very narcissistic, codependent, emotionally abusive situation. We ran a company together. I was the owner of the company, but together we built it up, and it was a big company. We had multiple employees, and we had, really substantial clients as well, publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, multi-billion-dollar corporations, and, some of the big, entertainers. I mean, we were doing very well. Unfortunately, that required a lot of work, and while I'm not opposed to working very, very hard, it was 12, 14, 16-hour days, all day, every day, Christmas, every holiday I was working, and I became very, very unhappy, coupled with a terrible relationship, coupled with the fact that I lived with this person and I couldn't ever get away from them, and I loved them to pieces, but at the same time it was so toxic, and progressively our fighting got worse. Over time, it was not just little arguments here and there. It was huge fights almost every single day. Every day I was in tears. Every day I was afraid of if I said this, I would be accused of that, or if I did this, I'd be accused of this. And I was always on the defense, and I was always trying to figure out how not to have a fight today. How can I keep things going, and how can I keep my employees happy, and how can I keep my clients happy, and how can I, continue to build this life that I really, really thought that I wanted. How can I do that today, And eventually the fighting started getting so bad, and one day, it was a particularly terrible argument, and it got physical. And that day, I was shocked. I never thought in a million years that I would ever be in a relationship where I would be affected in that way. And I walked into my office. This happened at the office. All the employees were gone. And I was at the office. I walked into my office, and I packed up my computer, and I walked away, and I never went back. The company was mine. Everything was in my name. The clients were mine. Everything was mine, and I didn't even care. All I wanted was to just be free. All I wanted was to have peace in my life, because no matter how much money I had, didn't matter. The boat didn't matter, the cars didn't matter, the apartment didn't matter, nothing mattered when you're not happy. And so it was a very dark time. I had a very dear friend who took me in and put me on her couch, and I slept on that couch for a while. And another dear friend who gave me a job, working in a more corporate environment, really allowing me to use everything that I was doing in my company, but specifically for them, almost as though I had just one single client, and it was such a relaxed and peaceful place to work, and it was such a nice change for me. But personally, I was dealing with a lot. I had given up so much. I had walked away from so much. I decided not to fight for so much that I had been fighting for so long. I didn't have anything else left to give. And it was at this point in time when, your whole life is in shambles. Your whole life comes crashing down. And you're stepping back and you're examining the rubble essentially of your bad decisions, and accepting responsibility that, you kind of put yourself there and all these things, but then you're like, well, no, I'm also a victim of all these types of things. And, you're making so many justifications, so many rationalizations, and you're so confused. And the people around you, of course, they're on your side, they're, but they weren't there. They didn't, they weren't a part of the conversations. They weren't a part of the fighting. They weren't a part of what happened. And I always took everything that my friends and family said with a grain of salt, And my friend that I was staying with at the time, she gave me a business card and she said, here, go see this guy. He's a tarot card reader. He's super nice, really great. And just, be a really neutral third party for you, someone that has no idea who you are or what you've been through, and just let him talk, just ask him about your life and just see what happens. It's like $40, whatever, So I went, and I could not believe this man had the ability to articulate and to clarify everything that was going on in my mind without even knowing my name, essentially. And it changed my perspective on my situation, changed my perspective about myself. It started to get me thinking about my own love for myself in a very, I'm sorry, I'm sitting on the floor. Thought this was going to be the best, I don't know, with my phone propped up against a candle. And it gave me so much to think about. And then I started getting curious about who this man was and how he was able to read these cards and how this really worked. And so I started studying and I started researching, and I bought my first set of cards, and I tried reading and learning, and I watched so many people and their readings, and I went to different readers, and I was so curious about it, and I just fell in love. It was something that gave me so much love and so much peace in my life. And even though, you may watch your YouTube video and it's not for me, it doesn't resonate, doesn't make sense, doesn't apply to my life, okay, that's fine. You do a personal reading with me, and maybe it's not exactly the answer that you want. Maybe it's a little bit, Debbie Downer or whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm providing something, and that people get something from what I'm doing. Whereas all those years that I spent in that business and building no one was ever happy. No one was ever satisfied. Nothing was ever good enough. And me being Libra ascending, I need everything to be balanced. I need people to be happy around me. I need peace. I need equality and tranquility. And without it, my whole life is just like affected when someone's not happy. And for me to continually give and give and give and give in that past business and not get anything in return, money is not enough. It doesn't make you feel happy. It doesn't make you feel satisfied. And that was a lesson I think I had to learn. And even though tarot is not my full-time gig right now, and I don't know if it ever will be, but it is something that I love very, very much. And as I developed and as I've grown over time, over the past couple of years, just with my YouTube channel, it's been so rewarding, and I could never imagine stopping. I could never imagine not having this be in my life. And so that's kind of the story. My life has changed so much over the past 2 years. I can't even believe, the power of an individual's decision. Every single day we make decisions that change the course of our life, And for me now, I'm just got back from Mexico, and the next couple days later I flew to New York. And when I get home from New York, I'm flying to Bali, and I'm going to be in Bali for a month. And I'm going to be doing my monthlies for December in Bali, and hopefully there's going to be a a shift in spirituality for me, and maybe it's something that I can convey to you, or help give me additional insight into to you for your monthlies and things like that. So I'm very, very excited for that. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, would love to have you there. I document my travels there. It's just Jane International on Instagram. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Hopefully I don't know, hopefully you enjoy it a little bit, getting to know me, my journey with tarot, what it really means to me, and how it really took hold in my life. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.